The most dangerous lie you'll ever meet lives inside your own head. Today, we're talking about how when you're young and you try and build a business, you are naturally self-conscious. You're terrified of failing or looking stupid, and you don't want people to think you're dumb. So, to protect you, your brain creates this massive filter. It's called the ego. And it blocks you. It blocks you. So, instead of letting objective reality, things that really happen, pass through, your ego distorts. Ooh, it distorts the truth, and it feeds you comfortable excuses, and it forces you to do the things you shouldn't be doing, like wasting hours hiding behind easy, comfortable tasks that are impossible to fail, while completely ghosting the hard tasks, and it makes you completely misunderstand reality. That's the worst part. But because you never learn, and you say, "Hey, I understand this task because I'm business minded," or something like that. But it's bollocks, okay? And if you just tell yourself you understand everything without researching it, it's a terrible idea. But when you get someone with a reduced ego that they try and reduce down and they try and wrestle, and you take the same data as here and you put it through the same funnel, which is still an ego, which is still part of you, which is a work in progress, they just listen. What does the ego say? And then they put the ego to one side and they just look at it objectively. They say, I don't think this, I don't think that. They are inconclusive. And they just create a different story that is aside from themselves, as if they're playing a character, as if they're listening to the different opinions of the world. And they're not making a choice. They just listen. And when you do this, you normally come up with a higher quality output. But if you do this as well, if you listen to the ego and don't just jump straight to this, then you're able to perform a self-audit by comparing the high quality information you get here with what your ego blurted out the first time. And when you compare that, you can revise a better version of you. And if you do this every time, you will become closer to this than you will to this. And that truly sets you free. They don't teach this in school, mud. My bad. All right, guys, let's get into it. So, let's see what else I wrote down here. When a zero ego successful founder looks at a problem or a new data set that they don't get, they say, I don't know much about that. I need to put my head down, shut up, and research more. But when you let your ego run the show, you look at that exact same data and your brain tricks you into saying, oh, I understand that completely. I'm just going to act on it based on how I think it should work. You don't even, by the way, you don't even realize you're consciously doing this more likely. You just do it like an absolute bozo. And so you choose fake confidence over real competence, over real understanding, just to protect your feelings. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's so bad. So you're trying to look like you know everything, and it's exactly what keeps you broke. So today we're breaking down the science, because it's brain, of how to unblock this funnel, kill the identity crisis, and switch to radical, egoless objectivity. Now, one thing to take from this video already is that, gang, you are not going to be able to master. Bro, where has Minecraft gone? I'm down. You're not going to be able to master your ego like that. My ego still cooks me, and it really is a thing of the more you notice it, the more you realize that you're not inadequate, but you're just not there yet. You know, you're a work in progress, and that's fine. And so the minute you think, oh, I'm the greatest, I'm the best at managing my ego, because I think about my ego and I think about, like, the minute you do that, you're just trolling. You don't get it. You don't quite get the point. It's a constant battle, and the minute you just tell yourself it's not, then it becomes a constant battle again. So, all right, guys. Yesterday we were working on the farm. We could do a bit more of that, but let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. Let's go chop down some trees. That'll probably be most of today's episode. I've got iron nuggets in my inventory, which is a pretty weird thing to have, in my opinion. I don't normally be having that. So, a little update. A loony in the comments told us we need to build our house out of mangrove wood. So I scoured for episode after episode looking for mangrove wood. We finally found it, gang. And I planted the saplings here. I've also planted the saplings of all the other trees that we found along the way, which, as you can imagine, is basically every single tree in the game. It might be every tree in the game. Here we don't have it, but we've learned that very close by we have dark oak. It's like over there, and we also have pale oak. So if we need that, we can go over there. But this is basically like everything we found. The jungle tree has grown. It has grown. So jungle trees don't grow as high in this biome because like back in the day, maybe you'd need 4 and you put them beside each other. But yeah, we got the cherry tree, we got the spruce tree, we got the oak, of course, and we got the birch too. But yeah, we found basically every other tree as well while looking for the mangrove, which is crazy, isn't it? So I guess that's the way it goes. Let's get up to... I don't know what to do with these roots, to be honest, guys. But it's all good. All right, let's go on with the content. So, what was this one? Okay. So neuroscientists call things the left brain interpreter. It instantly manufactures fake logic to justify your bad habits and emotional choices after you make them. So if your automated client pipeline falls, your ego shields you from the pain. It says, don't worry, gang. It's not your fault, or it's just this that's the problem, or it's just that's the problem. I want to slam all excuses with this, guys. I am Mr. Excuses. I love excuses. I love saying, don't worry, because we've still got this, or don't worry, because this is normal, we have this. I genuinely love doing that, and I do it. I just simply do it a lot. The problem is this, guys. No matter what you want to say about excuses and things, you still have to face the fact that businesses will die if you're too slow. So imagine this. Imagine you're like super slow at doing everything, like generationally slow at doing everything. So the minute you've got a good idea, you take, let's be super extreme. Let's say you take literally like, we're immortal and we take like 100, and you take like 100 years to do it. Imagine you had the idea 100 years ago, yeah? Imagine it took you 100 years to build a piece of software. No, let's say you started 80 years ago, and it takes you 100 years to build the software. Imagine in 20 years' time, which makes up the rest of the 100 years, you finally release that software. Guys, that is absolutely useless because AI will be able to just snap up that software for anyone who asks it to in a day. So you were too slow. You were too slow for the market. You also, all your investments would go down the drain because you'd have to pay your own personal expenses. And so any investment you pulled up, it would go down the drain. Or if you were self-financing, then you'd have to keep working on the side, which is just completely counterintuitive because you're doing this thing to make money. So you should be making money. So you shouldn't have to like self-finance for so long. You know what I mean? So that's an important idea, right? So speed basically negates, you just can't be making excuses all day long, yeah? Because you have to be speedy enough. You have to be speedy enough. Okay, that's that tangent out the way. Basically, excuses can't slide. Excuses can't slide. What the? Creeper? Aw, man. So we back in the mine. What? Did you see that? Immortal creeper. Oh my. Yeah, who do you think you are, blood? We need to get diamond armor at some point, by the way. We haven't done that yet. Bad aim. We haven't done it yet. Alright, we've got some more saplings. This is more than enough for now. I'm going to take some of these. This is how you regrow them. Pretty innovative Minecraft. I like that. Maybe this is how like mangroves actually work in real life. I don't know. I don't really care. But it's cool that it's different. And look at these roots too. I wouldn't want to mess with a mangrove tree, you know what I mean? So the idea is, my point is like you can't really make excuses anyway. It like not for long enough. Okay, you can make excuses. I still make excuses. Excuses. It's hard to tell whether excuses. You have to be really real with yourself because if you make too many excuses, you'll take too long and you won't be able to get what you're trying to do. So um, protecting the image versus solving the problem. Yeah, get absolutely skinned. See you later. You become more invested in defending your past decisions than fixing your current ones. And that's what it's really about, guys. You got to fix yourself. You got to change yourself. You got to improve yourself. Because the market is changing, the market is improving, people are improving. You got to improve too, otherwise you will be cooked. Not really, but you will just grow up and not really be the best version of yourself, which sucks. Next one. Next one. The big problem of saying, I already know that when someone explains a concept instead of asking questions to actually learn. Because the thing is, let's say you understand web design. You're a web designer. You've been a web designer for 20 years. And then AI comes around and you say, I don't need AI because I'm a web designer. And I've been doing it for so long that I don't even need it. That's absolutely rubbish, isn't it? The market's changed and you can't hack it. You can't cope. You're hating that the market's changed, and yeah, you just don't want to deal with that, which is a major L. And yeah, imagine you said that. You're going to be beaten by me. I'm 20. You've been a web designer for 20 years. You've been a web designer for as long as I've been alive. You see what I mean? So the defensive flair is feeling a flash of anger or anxiety when your product breaks or your offer breaks. But instead of spending time to use complex jargon or flashy setups to look like a high-level developer or founder, rather than keeping your backend simple, unsexy, and functional, you gotta just have that functional foundation first, and not be trolling. So that's number two. That's a pretty obvious one. A lot of these are pretty obvious. I feel like it's really just about being real with yourself and not saying, yeah, It's telling yourself every day that you are not there yet, and that's fine. It's telling yourself that you don't have the know-how yet. You don't have it yet, and it's okay. That's completely fine. We were going to fill this in, weren't we? That was what we were going to do like ages ago. Right, that's what we'll do. How long do we have left? I can't believe I didn't switch camera. Wow. That's all right, though. That's all right. Dirt. With 6 minutes left. Can't believe I didn't switch the camera. Sorry about that, gang. But we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. No reason stopping and restarting. That's not a common error of mine. Let's check. It's not just going back on its own. That would suck. All right. So how to shift to zero ego execution. Now, again, you're never going to hit zero ego, okay? And the minute you do, and you realize it consciously, it goes straight back the other way. It's simply a natural paradox of human nature. You're never going to hit zero ego, yeah? And when you do, you'll be cooked again. So, that being said, it is something you can practice, isn't it? That's what we're talking about, really. That's what we're kind of saying here. It's something you can practice, and that's good. That's a good thing. Let's sculpt this path out here. Let's do that, sure. Just trying to gather some more dirt so we can fill this in more. There's a lot of grass around here, and I'm not a massive fan, to be honest. So, decouple identity from data. This is what we talked about in the intro. When you have data coming in, that data has nothing to do with you, okay? That data, just because it's in your life, doesn't mean that it is kind of akin to you. It's just data. Like, you got to understand that before you, there was another business that was probably exactly like yours. If you're a service-based business, it's exactly like yours. If there's a commodity, if you sell a commodity, it's exactly like yours. That they've existed before you. So you've got to understand that the metrics you're seeing, the things you're seeing that you're interpreting, they have an objective solution. And that's a good thing. And it's because you're probably in a simpler business, just because most people probably are. As opposed to like AI now, where people are trailblazing, they're paving the way, right? You see what I mean? So, though ironically in those businesses, you probably need to be even more disciplined in terms of your ego, right? I think that makes sense. That's probably very true, actually. So, the I don't know superpower, bro. This is my jam, okay? Okay, little tangent here, but hopefully this is very useful. I think this could be very useful. I grew up as a younger brother to a sister who would constantly belittle me. Now, this is not some sob story. It's fine. I was so young, I didn't even know I was being belittled. But it made me think that I didn't have the know-how. It made me think that I was like, it was constantly like, Manny doesn't know what he's talking about. Manny's a troll. Manny's an idiot. Manny's like, it sounds really bad, but it's fine. It was kind of, I think everyone gets that to some degree. It's like a supply, oh my days, it's like a supply and demand kind of thing, right? If you are told you're not good enough a lot, you'll find the coping mechanisms to deal with it. Whether those are good or bad, whether those will help you long term or not. I think I found good ones long term, and that's not because I'm good. It's because I got belittled from so young that I didn't even realize I was getting belittled. I just thought it was life. I didn't think. I just did. I was 5. I was 3. You know what I mean? The first thing my sister said to me when she ever saw me was, "Get up, baby. It's time to play." Brother, I was a baby, straight out the womb. I can't play. But she said that, so I took it as gospel. I took it as something that had to be right. And that's kind of the moral of the story of what I'm trying to say here, right? This means that I am goated at saying, Manny, you don't have a clue. Manny, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. And that is a superpower. That is a superpower. That's what I've written down here. That's what I tell my friends. When I get into an argument with my friends, I often say like, by the way, guys, this doesn't mean that I'm right in the argument, right? But I just want to say, like, I didn't think I was right, and this is why I said it. Like I didn't immediately go, oh, I'm right, I'm going to slam them down, they're wrong. I went, I'm not sure if they're right. And then I said, after thinking about it, I don't think they're right. A lot of the time, it doesn't take just thinking about it, by the way. It takes a lot more. I think you see what I'm saying. So, the I don't know superpower. The fastest way to scale is becoming uncomfortable being the dumbest person in the room. Facts. Real authority comes from admitting ignorance and tracking down the data, not winging it and not trying to be the cool person in the room, not trying to be top dog, bro. I'm bottom dog, bro. I'm not this guy. This guy, look, he's up here. This is top dog. Hi, top dog. Hey, top dog. These are the bottom dogs. I'm one of these guys. I don't stand out, but I will stand out because most people are just getting jobs my age, and that's fine. It's not about getting a job. It's just about what works for you in your life. I'm doing this. I'm doing business because I want to move out. I want to move in with my friends, and I live in a place with a housing crisis. On an island with a housing crisis, and also they're going to be straight out of uni, and I also want to fund my own music career. That's the bigger thing. So that's my own reasons, right? So it's not about like whether you have a job or not. It's about what serves you. You know, all my friends have jobs. So, all right. The ruthless reality check. Look at your business every single morning. Don't do this. Really bad advice. Do it every week maximum. Look at your business every single morning through the lens of a cold, unfeeling algorithm. What do the numbers actually say? Act on the math, not your mood. Act on the stats. This is so true. And that sounds more complicated than it is, but it isn't. You just need to learn how does this stat correlate to this stat correlates to this stat. If you just read the right books, watch the right videos, it's fine. But really just act. Anyway, move on. So, the Minecraft metaphor. Hey, take these with a pinch of salt. These are usually rubbish. We were meant to build the house this episode. It's all right. Next episode. Let's end here. So, hold on. We got to get the torches out because I don't want any googlies coming around here. That's a deep cut for those who know. Those who know. If you know, you know. I don't want any creepers around here, actually. That would be tragic, bro. Blowing up my farm. Blowing up my phone. Blowing up my phone. Blowing up my phone. Okay. Yo, donkey. The Minecraft metaphor, bro. This is what AI comes up with, and I don't check it. So my notes on the left, they're AI generated. But I know kind of roughly what I'm talking about. I just use them to guide me so I can keep like going on to the next thing because I am such a scatterbrain. I'm such a tweaker. So I get AI to write me some notes. But as you can probably tell, like I'm not just reading off the notes. Here's the Minecraft metaphor, bro. Take it with a pinch of salt. This is going to be super goofy. But it's always funny me not reading it and then just reading it out. Lying to yourself to look smart is exactly like building a massive, breathtaking 50-block high castle facade right at the spawn point of a multiplayer server. It's made of gold blocks, diamond blocks, and glowing sea lanterns. From the front, it looks like an absolute empire. You stand outside it because you want every single player who logs on to think you're a master builder. In reality, you're a master baiter. It didn't say that. It didn't say that. In reality, the moment someone walks behind that front wall, there is literally nothing there. There's no roof, no automatic item sorting, no iron farms, and no bed. You are starving, your tools are broken, and you're living in a dirt hole right behind a golden wall. You wasted 100 hours mining materials just to build a fake front to impress strangers, instead of building the actual boring underground infrastructure that lets you win the game. Tear down the flashy facade. Stop trying to look rich or smart to the server. Go into the dark. Accept that your base is empty right now, and do the actual work to build the machine. The Minecraft metaphor is pulled through today. Wow, that's a hard hitter. I'm about that. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Someone was talking about procrastination in the comments of yesterday's video. I could do a video on that. I probably already have. I might not. I could do another one. I did. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, gang, you have an ego. I have an ego. You have an ego. We have an ego. You can never defeat the ego, but you can really push it at bay versus that one guy that we all know. We all have that one guy who just says, I know everything. And Manny Davis doesn't know anything. And that's what makes me win. Because I don't know anything. And as well, it's really a practical thing. This is not just a mindset thing or a trick. Because as a founder, you're always pushing the company further. You're building the company out. And so normally you're doing things you don't know how to do. Normally you're putting yourself in the edge of your comfort zone, in the Goldilocks zone, or outwards into out of your comfort zone, out of the box. And therefore you actually like are learning something new, and therefore you actually don't know what you're doing. So that's the idea. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And I will see you guys tomorrow.